The FBI starts sniffing around, starts digging around, starts flipping through pages, looking into the WNBA.
I don't believe what's been happening this season. The refs? Oh, they've been wild. The kind of calls that make everyone watching yell, "Wait, how on earth is that not a foul?" Well, turns out there's a reason for that madness. Referees have now sworn under oath that the league itself was pulling the strings behind those game calls. And guess where the orders came from? Straight from Cathy Engelbert's office. And who's stuck right in the chaos? Caitlin Clark, the league's biggest star, the rookie shattering records, bringing floods of new fans to the WNBA. Yet somehow, she's the one getting crushed out there with zero protection. And here's the real bombshell. After those NBA gambling arrests, Stephen A. Smith dropped the truth. If the FBI's digging through the NBA, don't be surprised when they knock on the WNBA's door next.
I'm glad you're here, Monica, because don't be surprised if the WNBA is next on his list.
Oh yeah. Don't be surprised if the WNBA is next on his list. Yep. Don't be surprised.
This isn't your usual bad officiating drama anymore. This smells like the spark of something way bigger. Let's break down the chaos. When the story first hit, it didn't drop like a leak. It exploded like a scandal grenade. 3 veteran refs with years of league loyalty stepped forward, swearing under oath and pointing fingers straight up. Not at players, not at coaches, but right at Cathy Engelbert's executive suite. They described meetings, expectations, and so-called nudges that were anything but subtle. The goal wasn't fairness, wasn't player safety, it was optics. Make the league look competitive, no matter the cost. One referee's line turned viral overnight. Too much attention on one player ruins the image. Everyone knows exactly who that means. This wasn't some locker room meltdown after a bad game. It was sworn testimony, calm, calculated, and legally binding. And now that it's under oath, the investigation is digging in deep. The WNBA is facing something brand new. Not hate, not trolls, but a full-blown credibility crisis. The league has been desperate to expand, to grow, to win over new fans. And Caitlin Clark was the engine of that movement. So why would they ever try to rein her in? According to refs, it wasn't personal. It was policy. But policy that twists competition isn't leadership. It's control. And now the deeper this goes, the uglier it gets. The phrase echoing through every statement? Protect the league image. Not protect players. Not protect fairness. Just the image. For decades, the WNBA has bragged about balance. No single team too strong, no superstar too dominant. Just slow, safe, steady growth. But basketball was never built for that kind of control. You can't micromanage greatness, you have to unleash it. So when Caitlin Clark walked in, a natural phenomenon who pulled fans without PR, hype, or spin, the leadership freaked, because suddenly they weren't in charge of the narrative. A real star doesn't wait for permission. So instead of celebrating her rise, they allegedly tried to dim it, quietly, strategically, through officiating guidelines. A few fewer whistles here, a little extra contact there, a silent message delivered without saying a word. Don't let her shine too bright. But that doesn't just limit a player. It shatters the league's credibility. Caitlin Clark didn't just join the WNBA, she detonated it. Before her, games were calm, polite, maybe even predictable. But the moment she stepped on that court, everything changed. Suddenly, arenas weren't just filling, they were bursting. Tickets that once went for $15 were suddenly selling for hundreds. People who never even knew women's basketball existed were suddenly glued to their screens every single night. She wasn't just good, she was electric, unpredictable, the kind of generational star leagues pray for but rarely get. But not everyone was clapping for her rise. Some seasoned players felt buried in her spotlight. Some coaches hated the overnight shift in power. And leadership, according to sworn referee reports, felt straight up threatened by how fast the attention flipped. Caitlin Clark didn't climb the WNBA ladder step by step. She launched past it like a rocket. And that's what made her dangerous, to the system at least. Instead of riding her wave, Cathy Engelbert allegedly tried to hit pause, just so the league could keep up. But greatness doesn't sit around waiting for approval. Caitlin didn't whine. She didn't play the victim. She kept her head down, played hard, lifted her teammates, and carried herself like a pro. And that poise, that silence, made the whole thing sting even more. Because the only one acting with class is the one getting punished for it. Anyone watching her games could sense it. Something was off. The hits she took weren't your regular defensive scraps. They were collisions, forearm shots, hip checks, shoves off the ball. Physicality's part of the game, sure, but this wasn't toughness. This was tolerance, permission disguised as play. Referees now admit they were told to let it go when it came to guarding Clark, to allow more contact, to avoid stopping the momentum with whistles. But those orders weren't for everyone, just her. And that's the breaking point. Because if athletes can't trust the refs to keep them safe, what's left? Careers, health, the integrity of the sport, all hanging by a thread. Meanwhile, Engelbert sat courtside, smiling, cool, collected, pretending not to see the chaos unfolding right in front of her. The silent message was crystal clear: she'll survive. The league needs balance more than fairness. But here's the real kicker. Leagues don't rise by holding their brightest back. They rise by protecting them. Parity sounds poetic on paper. Every team equal, every fan hopeful. But true balance isn't engineered from a boardroom. It's earned on the court. It was never supposed to be manufactured through whistle manipulation. But now the referees are saying the quiet part out loud. The league didn't want a runaway superstar hijacking every headline. They didn't want one franchise stealing the WNBA's entire identity. They didn't want the sport orbiting around a single name. But newsflash, sometimes it does. The NBA had Michael Jordan. The NFL had Tom Brady. Tennis had Serena Williams. Soccer had Lionel Messi. When a sport births a generational icon, the league usually celebrates it, because that talent lifts the entire game. But instead of backing Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise, Cathy Engelbert allegedly tried to water it down, spreading the spotlight so balance could survive, even when the product on the floor didn't earn it. Greatness isn't polite. Greatness rewrites the script. Real fans crave that energy. But if the league really did meddle just to keep things even, then what viewers watched wasn't pure basketball. It was performance art. And now that the curtain's been yanked open, there's no hiding behind branding. What began as murmurs from irritated fans and sharp-eyed analysts has turned into a full-blown inquiry. Those referee testimonies didn't just gather dust in a file. They were escalated, double-checked, and handed to investigators who specialize in organizational corruption. This isn't about a few missed whistles anymore. This is about whether league officials tampered with outcomes meant to be decided by athletes, not administrators. That's the kind of allegation that bleeds far beyond the hardwood. Investigators are digging into key questions. Did executives send messages to refs? Were they told to let them play when it came to Clark? Were certain rosters or players subtly protected to preserve a fake sense of parity? And the biggest one, who gave the order? Because somebody did. Investigators chase one thing above all: pattern. And if they uncover consistent referee claims, matching officiating data, or internal directives that line up with those sworn statements, then Engelbert's leadership isn't just in doubt. It's legally exposed. And if that happens, forget about PR fallout. We're talking full-blown structural overhaul. Leadership resignations, referee resets, maybe even rewritten league law. This isn't a one-week scandal. This is a generational reckoning, and the timing couldn't be more explosive, considering the rest of the basketball world is already burning under the microscope. The WNBA's drama isn't unfolding in isolation. The NBA's already knee-deep in gambling probes, player investigations, and whispers of tampered outcomes. When one league cracks, the others get scanned. That's how the system works. So when investigators see inconsistent whistles in WNBA games, sworn claims of top-down interference, and a sudden storm of public outrage, they don't call it coincidence. They call it a pattern. This isn't just a WNBA crisis anymore. It's a basketball crisis. Protecting the sport's soul is bigger than protecting any commissioner's image. Here's the kicker. Cathy Engelbert branded herself as the league's steady hand, the corporate savior who brought order, sponsors, and growth. And yes, she did fatten the league's wallet. But if that stability came from quietly rigging the on-court product, that's not structure, that's control. And that difference is everything. Because leagues don't win trust through press releases or photo ops. They earn it through fairness. And right now, that trust is hanging by a thread. The second Stephen A. Smith addressed it on national TV, the conversation stopped being sports talk. It became a national headline.